Hey everybody, it's Midnight Persona here. Sorry for the mess. Didn't really feel like making the bed today, I'm not gonna lie. But I thought I would try something new on the channel where I do a cosplay breakdown. Basically, a lot of people have been asking me questions about Junko, like where I got her and how much she was and things like that. So I thought I'd do a little breakdown on Beta Junko's outfit and all that stuff. So for those of you who don't know, Beta Junko is from Danganronpa, or Junko in general is from Danganronpa. There's been a lot of confliction on whether or not it's Beta Junko or Beta Monica. However, there's not enough evidence to provide either, and when you Google search Beta Junko, she shows up, and when you Google search Beta Monica, she does not show up. So I have gone by the standard that it is Beta Junko. I swear, if anybody keeps bothering me about this, take it up with the creators, take it up with the Wikipedia page, take it up with everything else. It's not my problem anymore. Anyway, point being, now that I've gotten all that stupid crap past me, because you'd be surprised how many people are trying to discount my cosplay just because they're like, you know, that's not Beta Junko, that's Beta Monica, so get your facts right. And I'm like, okay, but just so you know, all of the internet sees it as Beta Junko, so sorry? Anyway, moving on. I was gonna do a little breakdown little by little. I'm not gonna spend too much time on certain parts of the costume because honestly, certain parts of the costume aren't really all that big of a deal. So I'm gonna break down little by little each piece of the costume. Let's get started. The very first thing I wanted to start with, that would be the easiest thing to start with, are her boots. These boots, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to ask Subaru where she got them because they are Subaru's boots. I borrowed them for Junko and I took out the laces and restrung up the laces. So these are simply regular boots. Subaru Kamui, who is my best friend, bought them. They're a size 10. I wear a size 9, so they're a little floppy on me, but she's the one who bought them, so I have to ask her where she got it from. Parts that you don't necessarily need to know about, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. Bra. I got this from Unported, and it is all the red, like, underneath her shirt, so that's why I use this one. Corset. I got this corset from Timeless Trends, like, a few years ago at Ren Fair, but it fits me nicely. It goes underneath to quench everything in, to make sure that everything's up and in for Junko. I got these stockings from Amazon. They're pretty because they got the little extra lace. They also have the little elastic or rubber piece on the inside to try to keep them on your thighs. No matter what stockings have those, they do not work properly all the time. So even if your stockings are like, oh, it's a grip so that it won't fall off, it's not true, it's a lie, it'll fall off regardless. But it will stay on longer than you expect it to. So Amazon stocking. Then I got these shirts from Amazon as well. They were a size XXX. I can see if I can find where I got them from and post the link below, but it's just a regular dress shirt and then another regular dress shirt. Actually, I think this is 3X and that one's 2X, so that way it could fit underneath each other a lot easier. And then I just took some fabric paint and painted on the little designs that are on her shirt, you know? That wasn't too hard. It's just having a steady hand, which I do not have, which is why it looks a little wonky, but I just painted that on. Simple, easy, and then when you put it on, don't button your shirt all the way because her boobs are out. So this is easy peasy, got it from Amazon, painted on it, and there you go. Skirt pieces. This is something I've recently put underneath Junko. It is a black skirt that I made a very, very long time ago, but it keeps my skirt a little more poofed out. And then this skirt, which I need to remake because it doesn't have defined enough pleats, but I made this skirt myself. I pleated it and put elastic in it because skirts for me with elastic are a lot easier for me to wear because my weight fluctuates so much. So I need to re-pleat a new skirt, but I got the material from Joanns and I just pleated the skirt, sewed it together, ironed it down, and that's it. So this easy peasy kind of stuff, basic level. I know what everybody else really wants me to go through is the wig, but I'm saving that one for last because it's probably the biggest part of my entire costume. The choker. I got this from Amazon in a pack of chokers. I actually had to extend it with a few extra ring loops because my neck is large. So I added a few extra ring loops onto the choker that I got from Amazon, and it still worked perfectly fine. But the ring loops you can get from any grocery store, because if you're a big girl like me, regular chokers tend not to fit very well because they don't make chokers for big girls unless you're gonna pay like $70 for one. And I'm not paying $70 for one. This tie is a regular tie. I just painted the front and the back to look more like Junko's. I sewed an extra little piece right here. So that way I can fit the tie lower than my cleavage line, because Junko, there is no tie that is as long as Junko's tie. Not unless you make it yourself. And since I had already spent the money on this tie, I decided to just kind of paint and add on to it, because ties don't go that long, Junko. I don't know where you got your tie from, but they don't go that long. And so the back, as you can see, it's also safety pinned to make sure that that line does not move, because that's exactly where I want it to be. So when I put it around my neck, it lays right underneath where my cleavage is supposed to be. But yeah, I had to modify it a little bit because ties don't lie that long. Obviously, fake nails. I got this tacky stuff that goes on the nail that you can just set on top of your nail, and it makes it easier to pull them off. And they're really sticky, so they don't pop off as easily as long as you set them properly, but they do pop off easy at the end of the day when you want to get it off. So these are nice. One of my favorite parts of the costume, which is my headset. So I'm really proud of this headset because I bought a regular headband. I painted this wire, which the paint is coming off a little bit now and I need to do this, but I got a wire and I glued it to the inside of the headband. And these, my friend, are needle felted little bears. So I've been needle felting for a while, but I've never really had a chance to incorporate into my cosplay. So I'm so happy that I got to finally do it, that these little bears are just poked and prodded at. If you don't know what needle felting is, Google it. It's basically you take a pin and you just keep picking at wool until it starts to form a more solid clump of wool. This is needle felted too, the little mic piece. And the reason I really wanted to needle felt these two is because they're still fuzzy. So they give you that kind of fuzzy cute look while it still looks very accurate to what it is, you know? So there's the mic. So these are needle felted, and I really love the way they turned out, and I think they turned out so good, and it sits so nicely on my head, especially when I have the wig on. You have these two. Like, I wish I could have moved them a little further down, but I feel like if I did, they would have gotten engulfed by the puffs. So this wire I can also readjust any way I want, because the wire's not super hard, or the gauge I guess isn't as thick or whatever, so that way it makes it easier to adjust this where I need it to go. So if I need to move a little further down, I can move a little further down. If I need to move a little further up, I can move a little further up. But that is my headband. And now the only reason anyone clicked on this video in the first place, the poofs. I have to keep the poofs in this bag. I need to find a bigger bag because they don't fit anywhere else. So there's a bit of a story that goes along with this. I bought two giant afro poofs from Amazon and this wig base, which actually is a really cheap wig base. I got this wig for I think like, I don't know, 12 bucks. It wasn't very expensive. I had to dye it, and outside of the light the wig doesn't look super fantastic. In the light, in photography, this wig looks really, really nice. Outside of that, it's actually not all that nice. But I bought this for 12 bucks, and I bought the other Afro poof wigs for like 13, maybe, I don't know. It wasn't very expensive. They're very cheap afros, not these ones, but I bought some very cheap afros. Now the afros didn't want to dye properly, and when I got them, there were weft gaps like this big. I guess they were supposed to be just strictly clowny, goofy wigs, so they weren't very nice. And when I dyed them, they dyed okay, but the wefts were so far apart, there was nowhere I could use them. This wig dyed okay, but I really didn't like the way it felt, so I decided not to use it at first. Then I bought 3 wigs from Arta. I bought these 2 Afro puffs, and then I bought another base wig. The problem with that is the base wig that I had bought from Arta did not dye the same colors of the poofs. So then I had this really gorgeous pink colored wig with 2 puffs that were like bubblegum pink, and the gorgeous base was like a deep pink. And I was so frustrated because I spent $90 on these wigs. each wig being about 30 bucks each, and I was so mad. But then I went, you know what? I'm just gonna put these together because as you can see it's a little darker but not too much just to tell when they're all together. So I spent $90 on a wig set that basically I spent about $40 on the first set, $90 on the second set. You used the $12 wig from the first set and the two $30 afros from the second set. It turned out in the end very nice, but it was so frustrating, which is why I'm trying to find more reasons to wear Junko all the time because it was expensive. The poofs. The one thing everyone asks me is, how did you make your puffs? How did you make your puffs? Okay, so with the puffs, basically what I did is I stuffed the inside with just regular stuffing from Joanns or whatever. If you can look closely, you can see just regular cotton stuffing, which I think if I ever remake these, I'm actually probably gonna get a styrofoam ball because it might be lighter on my head, but I'm not sure yet, so we'll see what happens. But I stuffed them with cotton, and I had bought this net to make it into a clip. And the net, when I ordered it, I didn't realize I only ordered one when I meant to order two. And I was literally a week before con, so there was no way I can order another one. So what I did instead was I took some of the extra wig caps that I had and I folded it over and I wrapped it around this clip that I bought from a swap meet, and then I sewed it to the edge of the wig. I sewed them all on to the edge of the wig so that way no cotton would escape and it was poofy enough. And I can't like show you how it clips onto my head, but like basically if I'm careful and I grab it from the outside, I can just onto whatever wig I'm attaching it to. But this clip cost me about $1, maybe $2 at the swap meet. I always have leftover wig caps, so I use that for the holding it together. And then some basic stuffed cotton, all hand stitched together, which was a pain in the butt. But these puffs, while expensive, were a little tedious, but not too difficult to do. But Junko, or Beta Junko, is basically a cosplay, or is definitely a cosplay that if you want to do a passion project, make sure you have the money set aside for it, because I would say this whole project overall maybe cost me almost $200. $200 to $250. Like the skirt wasn't too expensive because it was just the material, which may have cost me about $10 for, or like $20 for the whole yardage of the skirt. This other skirt I made a long time ago. The two shirts were about $10 to $12 each. The tie was maybe like $10, $12. All the paint I used already had. The biggest price was honestly the wig because it was $90 and $40. So I guess breaking the whole thing down, I can assume it cost me maybe about $250. This was a passion project, and this was something I was so excited to do that I didn't mind. And it worked out in the end because I ended up winning Best Journeyman Performance at SabaCon, so that was really nice. The judges have told me that they really wish that I'd done more of the stuff myself, like making the dress shirt myself and making the pleats deeper on my skirt and a few other things like that, because they said they were very used to my performances, or at least one of the judges said they were very used to my performances always being top tier and really wonderful, but I need to push my craftsmanship. Though if I'm being 100% honest, I joined the masquerade for SabaCon because Subaru told me that there were only so many entries in, and that if I really wanted to join, I should probably join because there's not that many people in the masquerade anyway. And not that she was like convincing me to go so I could win, but it was a, hey, masquerade's gonna be short. I know you're working on a project. I think you should enter it if you really want to, because there's not that many people in, and it'll be a good chance for you to kind of do a masquerade on your own again and enjoy that again. So after that I was like, all right, I'll join. I'll see what happens. I am working on Junko, and I am spending a good chunk of money on her to make her, so I should enter her and have fun with it. And I wrote my parody, Be Despaired, and it was a blast. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. It was really fun to meet the judges and meet some cosplayers that I really looked up to, and it was a fun experience to jump into masquerade with this. But that's basically the big breakdown of Junko. Not a lot, not as much as you might have thought, but I still had fun with it. I had fun making it, and a lot of the pieces are made myself, but there are some mixed matches added in because I just don't. When I was originally making her, it was gonna be for TikTok. It wasn't really gonna be for anything extravagant, and then Subaru convinced me to enter her because of how much money and how much time I was putting into her, and I'm happy she did. So that is Beta Junko in a nutshell. The final product is these, and I think that overall I did a pretty decent job on this cosplay. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you. If you guys are interested in me doing any more like cosplay breakdowns of certain cosplays, certain characters, and how I put them together, some videos are going to be long, some videos are going to be super short because some things are easier than others. Please let me know. Even if you want to, can you please post in the comments below what types of stuff that you're interested in seeing when it comes down to cosplay breakdowns and stuff like that. I nearly forgot. I got my contacts from Junko from Honeycolor. They are bright blue contacts I got around Halloween time. And I used Jackie Aina's palette for most of Junko's eye makeup. But yeah, I can do a small Junko makeup thing another day, separate from this video. But if you guys are really interested in hearing more about cosplay breakdowns of certain cosplays I have and how I made them, and or where I got pieces from and how to cosplay kind of on somewhat of a budget, because for Masquerade I end up spending way more money than I should. But when it comes down to regular cosplays, I try my best not to spend that much money, you know. A lot of stuff is Amazon picked or sewn myself. So let me know what you guys think of this video, and if you think it's something that I should keep doing or something that you're very interested in. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. If you like this video, like this video. If you like me, subscribe. There's a bell notification, all that stuff. And yeah, like I said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for joining me. And remember that you are loved, you are wonderful, and you are beautiful in every way, shape, and form. Alright guys, bye!